welcome to yet another Fashionpreneur Fame Club interview. And today I have with me warrior Ruchika. And Ruchika Mehta is from Delhi, and she runs this amazing women Western apparel fashion brand called Dahlia. And I'll let her tell us how she started and her journey of starting this brand and why this name. I also want to know that about why this fashion brand. So, first of all, welcome Ruchika. Looking forward to having this amazing conversation with you today.
Thank you, Harvey. Thank you so much.
Now,
Uh,
yeah, sorry, go on.
I have been working in the media industry for 10 years, actually more than 10 years.
Mm,
And then since I was a kid, I did want to do fashion design. So I didn't know much about fashion, though I was not a very fashionable person. But I don't know, I had some interest because I had this notion that you keep doing new things, regularly. So
mm,
that is something that was really interesting. So I just decided after my 12th standard to get into NIFT, which is the best institute in fashion design. And but by the time, because we didn't have information as to what the procedure is and what needs to be done, so we were kind of late in enrolling into NIFT.
mm,
So, because I didn't know there's a proper examination you need to prepare for and, take that training and then give that exam. So my mother was like, fashion designing, jewelry design kar lo, because we heard about it somewhere and that course was open at that point of time. So
mm.
I had to do my graduation. So I decided to do that through correspondence. But I studied jewelry design.
Oh, okay.
So I started with that in my career, and I did work in one or two places in Delhi. I was not allowed to go out of the city and work in a different city or stay alone and all that stuff. So that's something that was not a trend in our family. So I had whatever I had to do, I had to do it in Delhi.
Mm,
So I worked in few places, but then I don't think designers, jewelry designers at that point of time, I'm talking about like 2000, 2001,
mm.
they
Okay.
weren't really recognized as a profession. So you weren't really paid very well. And
Yeah.
to set up a jewelry business is really, really expensive. So I didn't have those kind of resources to set up my own business in jewelry. I come from a business family though. My father is into business. So I do understand that it takes a lot of work and you have to be working all hours maybe. That's how it's been. But then I was not wanting to get married, but I come from a traditional Banya family where you're supposed to get married by a certain age.
The story is the same everywhere, Ruchika.
Yeah, so I just enrolled to a media course where they said I could pay from my first salary because I didn't want to take money from my dad again to enroll into another course I'd already spent into jewelry design. So I did the media management course and then I got into media. I started working in the media.
Mm,
That's where I met my husband.
mm,
So fast forward, I was working in the media industry for quite some time after marriage also. It didn't change. 2015, I think he started telling me because I felt very stuck in my job because in media, I was into media sales, media marketing, that's we call it. No matter at what level you go, you're doing the same thing.
mm.
So my idea of wanting to do something creative and something new regularly, I felt closed in a box. So my husband was like, why don't you do GMAT? Because that will help you, get a leap in your career. And then I did enroll into GMAT, but I didn't like it. Then I lost my mom in 2015. And I was like, now if I've got to study, I'm going to study fashion design. I don't want to do GMAT. So I dropped out of GMAT and I enrolled into a course at Pearl Academy in fashion design.
Mm,
I
okay.
studied for 2 years, slept only 3 hours for 2 long years, and completed that course with around a 6-year-old kid.
Wow.
So
Amazing.
that's how it is. So I think that passion was there, but I did it later in my life. So I left my job, did my course. A lot of support from my family, of course. I wouldn't have been able to do it without them. And then I got into a job to actually understand how this business runs.
Mm,
So while I was studying at Pearl, they have an internship where you go to Milan.
mm.
So I went there to Milan for 2 months, and they have a lot of pride in made in Milan kind of thing. They hold a lot of pride in that, and I
Yeah.
felt that we in India we miss that. Our handloom is like respected across the globe, but in India we don't have that pride in terms of the handloom fabrics that we have. I think that's when I decided that I will do my own business, but I will deal in all handloom, hand woven fabrics. I'd like to discover, the kind of hand woven fabrics that are there and how I can make it contemporary. Because
Mm,
I'm not into Indian wear. I do Western wear. That's not my Indian wear is not never been my forte. So
mm,
that's how I wanted to see that how a traditional fabric can be contemporarized and made into modern Indian wear, modern Western wear dresses and quad sets. So that's what I specialize in right now.
mm. Amazing space that you have picked up, and you're so right. Like, handloom is our pride, and we have not been speaking out loud for
Yeah,
that, but getting the imports done from other countries and so on to sell in our own country. So,
absolutely.
so this is how, I mean, interesting journey. I didn't know about the jewelry designing part. I knew in through some of our conversations that you have done fashion designing.
Yeah.
So great. So you had that background. You started your brand. What's the story behind your brand name?
See, brand name, I wanted to launch my brand just pre-COVID,
Mm-hmm.
but then COVID hit. So I delayed it and then I got into this procrastination mode and all. So Dahlia has a lot of meanings. When I was searching for names or during COVID, I started gardening actually
Acha.
because nothing much to do. So I started gardening and my friend got me interested in it. So I've seen Dahlia, the flower,
Mm,
at a nursery, and I'm very interested in origami. I mean, that's something I've always wanted to do. So even in college, in Pearl, when we used to do collections, I used to use origami in making those garments. So that flower somehow got me thinking about origami,
mm,
and in my head, it was like a match to what I enjoy doing.
yeah,
So that's why I just thought at that point of time that my brand name is going to be Dahlia.
yeah.
And then
So,
I searched what Dahlia means or what it signifies. So the first meaning that came is new beginnings. And that was apt with where I was. It was a new beginning for me
yeah.
after working. I mean, it's like I've been married, I have a kid, settled, and now, then again going back to studying. And so it was like full circle and it was absolutely a new beginning. So that's the reason, Dahlia.
Amazing. So, Ruchika, what was the first challenge or the biggest challenge? Let me ask you that way. The biggest challenge that you had to overcome to start the brand.
The biggest challenge was lack of knowledge of running a business.
Hmm.
That is the reason why I took up a job before I thought of starting my business straight away.
Hmm.
Um, of course, I have limited resources. We'd already spent so much in studying at Pearl and then going abroad and doing another 2 month this thing. So I wanted to work somewhere to understand how the business works. But what happened? I have a 10-year experience in marketing. I
Hmm.
think that came in the way because I went to a design house where I worked for a month. After a month, they said you should do marketing. You should go to these stores, you'll build up your contacts, and then in my head, like I'm not working at a fresher's salary and doing marketing because that's an experience that I have for 10 years. So if
Hmm.
that expertise needs to be used here, then I will need to be paid better.
Hmm.
So I don't think they were ready for that because I just feel that's why I was employed that I will be put into marketing at the pretext of being hired into design. When
Hmm.
I said, I think that's a challenge I'm going to face everywhere. So might as well just get into it and see how it's done. So I started with research. I started visiting villages where these fabrics were woven because I wanted to empower the weavers. I didn't want middlemen and just take my fabric from here and start doing stuff. So that's the core of my business that I wanted to meet up with the weavers, give a livelihood to them, constant supply and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So I did this research for a year. I traveled. I traveled to Gujarat, to Chanderi, South. So I went to Orissa for Ikat and all that stuff. So I did this research of mine for a year.
Hmm.
Then I get it. My father started building a studio for me. We had a house which was empty, so he started building the studio, and then COVID hit.
Hmm.
So in COVID, a lot of uncertainty came in. I mean, before that, I was still fine on my path, but a lot of uncertainty came in. So I stopped working on the brand. We
Hmm.
didn't know when we were going to open up and all that stuff. So I didn't do the collection. I didn't work on my designs. But then I started. Karna to hai, matlab there is no choice. I've left my job. I've done the course. I'm not getting a job. I had to do something. So
Hmm.
I just sort of I made my designs. I designed my collection. Challenge of then getting a production unit because After COVID, I was not sure I wanted to have my own production unit because that would add to my monthly investment.
Yeah.
So I thought of then finding a production unit. So I think in October 2021 is
Mm.
when so I was in a lot of procrastination mode wherein pata nahi kya hoga, where the world is going, whether my brand will work or it will not work. What if I spend so much,
Mm.
invest so much in the brand and then
Yes,
nothing
yes,
comes
yes.
out?
Yeah.
So that uncertainty took over me quite a bit. Uh,
Mm.
and then I was just scared to launch the brand. I could not take that next step to launch. So
Mm.
one was lack of knowledge of how to run a brand, first of all, and second was this procrastination and perfectionism problem that I have, that everything has to be to the T.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so unless everything falls in place, I will not take the next step. So that falling in place of everything never happened, and I never took the next step.
Mm.
So I was I was going through YouTube or something like that at that point of time when your video popped up,
Mm.
and I think I attended that webinar, and I must say your energy is infectious. मतलब मुझे नहीं पता क्या है, but I didn't think twice. I didn't blink. I didn't ask anyone in my family. During the webinar, I signed in for the silver membership.
Mm.
So I signed up only based on the energy that I got from you, that सब कुछ हो सकता है, everything is possible and everything is fine. So that
Mm.
confidence really shook me. But then again, I had this limiting belief that I cannot learn from recorded videos.
Mm.
So I can't hold myself accountable or get myself to see the videos. So I enrolled into the course in 21, October 21, but I just went through one or two videos and then I'm like, ये तो सारा recorded course है. And I didn't know that we have weekly calls and all that stuff, that I was not aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I did not go through the course. I just let it be.
Okay.
I didn't do anything in it, honestly, and kept going through my procrastination mode and all that stuff.
Mm.
Then came your diamond membership in March, Women's Day,
Mm.
2022, March.
Mm.
I again attended your webinar because I really liked the energy that you had. And during that women warrior thing that you had said, are you a warrior or a warrior? I
Mm.
think that day something changed.
Mm.
Again, I was sitting at some relative's place and attending your webinar, half of it listening to it and half interacting with the family. Um, I didn't ask anyone. I just signed up for the diamond program. I was like, dekhi jayegi. I didn't know from where I'm going to arrange the resources because I've not spoken to my husband that this is the amount I need to spend, for this course. And I was like, I am taking this call. I'm not telling anyone, and I am just taking the plunge. So then I took your diamond course.
Mm.
Once the diamond course I enrolled into, I started getting over my procrastination because I started attending your Monday calls.
Mm.
So that's where it kept me in that energy to do something.
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing that I had to overcome. I had to be in the energy where it literally forces me to take action. So when
Mm.
you see so many people taking so much action and discussing it, and then you feel you are doing nothing, you are motivated to do something.
Mm.
So
That's a big
that
one.
pushed me forward quite
So,
a bit.
would you say that loneliness brings procrastination? Like in your case, was that the reason? कि यार अकेले अकेले you're just overthinking and
I think
waiting for
yes, it is
perfection.
that too, and the people that I had around me, like the questions that were asked from me was, will this sell?
Mm.
You're designing. How do you know this design is going to sell? I have
Mm.
no answers to that. So
Mm.
that then you start doubting yourself that is it actually going to sell, because I have no way of testing it,
Yeah.
because my husband's side is all service family. Now he is into coaching himself. So
Mm.
that you can still test because it doesn't have that kind of cost attached to the product. It's not a manufactured touch and feel product.
Right.
But in my case, I could not test the product. So I couldn't go and give it to people and wear it and tell me whether it's going to sell or not. I couldn't do that. So
Yeah, I
those
get
kind of questions, when they started coming in, that's where also I started doubting myself more because I didn't have answers to those questions.
it. Mm-hmm.
I was not
What?
confident enough to tell them that yes, this will sell.
Yeah. So then suddenly what energy shift you experienced after you joined Diamond? Like we have these monthly, well not monthly, Monday calls.
they
you
call
were
them.
coming, you were seeing other people take actions.
Yeah.
But within Ruchika, what changed that you started taking actions, launched your brand? So tell us more
See,
about it.
within me, I think I started watching your videos, like the fashion blueprint.
हम्म।
I
जो
went
आपके
through it
पास जो आपके
completely.
पास पहले से था, जो
पहले से था,
देखा नहीं
किया नहीं,
था।
देखा नहीं था. So
हाँ,
I started watching that at
हाँ,
that point. And then it's like step by step, it, it just came to me that it's possible to do it. And
हम्म,
then it's not only that, you also had mindset sessions wherein, the Monday morning, the morning club, MMP. I joined every MMP that you did.
हम्म,
Because that gave me a lot of energy and positive thinking, like limiting belief. Now I understand that that was my limiting belief that I can't learn through learned videos. The best part is your videos are very short. They're just 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 12 minutes. So you don't have to sit for hours and then you're trying to understand, what's happening.
हम्म,
So I got a structure in terms of how I can structure my business. I started understanding the various aspects of it. GST I had gotten before, but then website and Instagram, how to shoot and all that. So I didn't have the confidence that if I make a video and put it up, people will see it.
हम्म,
So I remember my first video is, of course, after the join the course, I've joined the course, I've made that video wherein I am in my home clothes. I've just woken up and my packages are right. My fabrics ka packages are right. So with my husband, I'm just unveiling that package.
हम्म।
And it's a very basic video. I have not gone ready. My hair is all messy, tied up. And that video I put up, I think next day it was 25K views. It's like, what?
Wow.
What did this happen? So I was like, नहीं नहीं नहीं, if you believe it works. So I was
Absolutely.
ये बना के अब डाल दो. You just take action. That's what you always say.
Yeah.
Just take action. Don't worry about the result. In our head, I think we keep worrying whether it will work, what is going to be the result, and we forget to take action just worrying about the result. So
So
that's something with a lot of, it didn't happen overnight, but
mm,
over months, consciously training my mind, writing my goals, writing my gratitude, daily 20 goals. I still do that. So writing all that, that did help me visualize the kind of life that I want. And
mm,
then breaking it down into smaller actions, like you always say, top three actions of the day. So I know what I need to do to get through the day so that something happens in my business. So
right.
slowly, that shift started coming in where I started getting more confident. And then when these questions would still come, they're not going to disappear. So
Mm,
when these questions would still come, I would say, हाँ चलेगा. नहीं
mm.
चलेगा तब देखेंगे. अभी चल जाएगा.
It will
This
change.
design will work.
Yeah.
Like one design I remember, one of my family members, I tried it and it's like a shirt with an open back.
Mm-hmm.
The back is almost completely open. So it's like, ये क्या है? ये कौन पहनेगा? ये design चलेगा? And I'm like, you don't know anything about design. Just go from here. I'm the expert.
Yeah.
And today I can tell that person that's my best selling design. That co-op set
Wow.
is worth like around 12,000 bucks. And that's my best selling design so far. I mean, I've
Wow.
sold I don't know how many pieces in that co-op set.
Super.
Every market I've gone to, I wore it in one market, and after that, I just almost sold out. One fabric sold out. I got it in another color, and that's also going well.
Wow. And that's 12,000 bucks for a quad set because of course it's handloom and people are buying that price
People are
point.
buying. People are buying.
Because a lot of women they have this worry of 2,000, 3,000 ka. Is this too expensive for online? What is your take on pricing?
See, I think I do. I did read your ABC strategy, but my pricing starts from 8,200. So my affordable product is 8,200.
Right.
That's the kind of brand that I am building up.
Correct.
I think there is a huge market for every price point. That's
Mm,
something I learned.
mm,
Initially, I had this doubt that I'm launching an expensive brand, but I'm
mm,
not an expensive brand. I mean, if we look at Zara and H&M, fast fashion, where the quality of stitching is not that great, and the material is polyester mostly, or even if they say it is organic, it is a blend of some poly. Those dresses are 8,000, 10,000 rupees.
mm.
I am offering you 100% cotton, mostly natural dyed
Yeah.
fabric and all well handcrafted. So there are like some finishes in designer clothing which do add to the cost. Like French seam is one seam that adds to the cost. So we do not do an overlock which is there in usual garments. So those are the kind of finishes we make. So it'll not tear apart if you wash it in the machine also. And they're all hand wash. They're all washable at home. You don't need to get them dry cleaned. So that is the beauty that we are. I wanted to set up a sustainable brand, so that's what I'm doing. All the fabrics are biodegradable. They are mostly natural dyed or chemical free dyes, so they're no harm to the environment as well.
Hmm.
In terms of pricing, I think there is a market for every price.
Yeah, absolutely.
So people who like this, I realized in my first exhibition. So Feb 2022, I launched, and March I did my first exhibition.
Hmm.
People came in, they liked the design, and they just bought it.
Hmm.
No question, what's the price? So my first customer bought two dresses from me, and her total bill was around 22,000.
An unknown person.
Unknown person.
Wow, amazing.
My first order wasn't to a family person or anybody I know. My first order was to an unknown person.
Hmm.
So that's something, and I think people relate to how you are. That's something I understood because I got an order from somebody who knows me, but they just we stay in the same society. So the way I talk about my brand and the way I feel about Indian handloom fabrics and all that stuff. So he placed an order with me to take it to Australia and sell it there.
Hmm.
So that order was in itself like 1.1 lakhs. And
Wow.
it's like, wow, I mean, you can just talk and, people will place
And
orders with you
people
because they
will.
believe in you and you believe in yourself.
Absolutely. Very well said, Ruchika. And I always feel this has been my very big belief when I was curating my first collection of jewelry, that there is always a crazy group of people whose choices and whose styling are just like you. Like they're mirror of your styling and your curation. And it's just about reaching out to them. So,
Absolutely.
and as you said, right, the more you speak and more people relate with why you want to do this or what you are doing it, and they just buy in your thought or your strategy of supporting the weavers and doing something for the handloom and all those. So I'm very happy to hear this, that unknown people coming in, because generally they are these friends and family who would support, and after that the sales die down. And I always believe in not selling in my friends and family. Like I don't ever want to hear after 6 months कि ये थोड़ा इसका ये नंग निकल गया. Like I don't have time for that. You please buy from Myntra, Amazon, Flipkart
Yeah.
is
True.
generally my conversation with them. But so you're saying you did your exhibition, and from there, I think that first level of confidence came in, that yeah, this can sell. Great. And you said something, that what was leading to you procrastinating was also number one, the lack of knowledge, right? Now, I'm very curious to ask you something there. You
Yeah.
say you belong to a business family, like your dad is into business. Then you have done jewelry designing, then you have done fashion designing, then you have also gone into a job. Okay,
Yeah.
so generally, what people think, why I'm asking you this question is, people think family business में कोई था तो now it is easy to start, or I've done fashion designing so now I know everything about business. So after doing so much, you still say that there was lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
What is it that was missing? Because I've never done fashion designing, and I'm very curious to know, like, what's the difference between what we learn in Fashionpreneur Club versus what you had learned? Like, what's the real difference that you have seen?
Okay. See, in a fashion design course, they will teach you the nuances of getting a product ready, you
Hmm.
know. So it's like I learned how to make patterns, how to do my sketches, how to do design thinking. That also they will teach you.
Hmm.
The exposure will tell you how to make a garment. So we used to actually sit and stitch whatever garments we used to design. So
Hmm.
that if I have to instruct my tailor, I should know how to stitch a garment. Only then can I tell my tailor what to do.
Yeah.
So we make patterns before making a garment. We don't just cut it on the fabric. It doesn't work like that. So we
Hmm.
do test fits and all that stuff. So that procedure of getting a product ready is what we learn at the institute in fashion design. We
Hmm.
also learn small. See, I did a postgraduate course, a 2 year course. So
Hmm.
it was like a 4 year course, which is an undergrad course, concised into 2 years. So
Hmm.
everything was very quick. So you
Hmm.
have a 3 month foundation course, then you have. So we learned photography, we learned about art movements and culture and everything that. is taught. You taught a bit of business and marketing. You're supposed to make a business plan, but I'm not sure that's a very realistic plan
Hmm.
because you're still studying and you're doing so many things together, and then you have just a month session on business and marketing. I don't think it's enough, first of all.
Hmm.
Second, the difference is here you learn till the product, very good. That's a very good learning, tell you how to get that product ready. What I
Hmm.
learned at Fashionpreneur is how to sell that product, how to get customers, how to go out in the market, how to make my own website, like how important is a website. Those
Hmm.
are things which I was not aware of. So
Hmm.
in my head, when I was launching, I was like, "Ha, Insta kar lenge." I do exhibitions because most brands like me do exhibitions,
Hmm.
and that's how I will go. And then I will seek a website banana because I had no knowledge of how to make a website. I'd asked a friend who's a graphic designer because I work with media. I knew graphic designers, and she was like, "A good website will be like 80,000 to a lakh, you know."
Hmm. Hmm.
And this is from a known person who
Hmm.
I knew would do a good job, but still, that's an investment. So
Hmm.
for me, it was already a high investment in terms of sourcing my fabrics. They're expensive. Then getting it made, that's another investment. And now marketing, I knew I'd need to spend on, and then website also another lag. Then there's a photo shoot. It's like you're just putting in money one after the other in everything.
Hmm.
So I think I learned how to launch also. I mean, I knew how to make my product, but
Hmm.
that launching was also not coming in.
Hmm.
That confidence to actually be a business owner, because it's a huge responsibility, that is something I was not able to push myself to do. So I would
Hmm.
keep postponing कि हाँ अभी रिसर्च कर रहे हैं एक साल, फिर ऑफिस बन रहा है, फिर अभी फैब्रिक्स आएंगे, फिर कलेक्शन डिजाइन हो गया है, वो बनेगा तब करेंगे टाइप्स, दैट्स हाउ आई वाज जस्ट पोस्टपोनिंग ईयर आफ्टर ईयर.
Hmm.
So, but once I joined the diamond membership, silver membership also, I think if I had seen the course, I would have taken off. But my bad, I just my own limitation that can't learn from recorded videos. I did not see it. But diamond membership, when I enrolled into it, it changed me. I knew that I could do something. I am capable of doing it. So I'm unstoppable is the song that I vouch by now since I've heard it. But yeah. But
Super. Amazing. Great conversation, Ruchika. If you have to share with us, like, sorry, you need water?
yes,
Yeah, please take. While she's getting water, I'm just loving how, from being a procrastinator to then taking baby steps, launching her brand, seeing sales coming, like expensive sales coming from customers who actually value handloom and the kind of products that she does. It's such an inspiring journey. And for everyone who is watching, I'm going to put up Ruchika's brand website link and her Instagram handle, the link in the description below. So definitely check out the kind of amazing contemporary collection through handloom fabric that she's been talking about. It's just, if you appreciate that concept, it's just amazing what she does. So yeah, Ruchika, I hope you're feeling better.
yes, thank you.
Super. So I want to ask you the top three changes that you have seen in yourself in Ruchika after you have like kind of launched your brand. What would that be? That the old Ruchika was not this, but now this, like the top three changes.
Top three changes is, of course, in terms of knowledge. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
how to do a lot of things in the brand is something that I've learned. And I continue learning. Lack of knowledge, I think, will always be there in something or the other.
Yeah.
But I think with the kind of, sometimes it's in my mind that I'm thinking, ये कैसे होगा? And then, on that Monday call, we're discussing that exact same thing. So, that is something there. That knowledge is something I have got for sure through this course. So that has given me confidence. So that's a change. Next is I've started creating boundaries, like you taught in one of the mindset classes. So I am able to say no to people, which I wasn't able to do earlier. That's another change. And third is that I still need to work on it. I'm not able to come in front of the camera, which I should. But that's something I'm working on. So third learning is again, do what you're thinking. Don't get into your head. Don't think too much.
Mm. Super, very well put together. And I know of Ruchika when you had joined the Fashionpreneur Club. I think
Yeah,
I know you from the calls that you started attending from Diamond.
yeah,
No wonder मैं पहले आपको नहीं देखती थी क्योंकि आप आते ही नहीं थे. But from there till now, I think we have also met in one of the events and physically met. And I
yeah.
have seen that change, Ruchika, in your thoughts, in your mindset, and in your action taking. Like you show up more. So it's been just an amazing journey to even witness and see how you have, from that procrastinator to now running this brand. It's been amazing to just witness that. And I know you are an
It,
inspiration to so many people in our community, because you always say I was the one who was stuck and now I'm here. So most
yes.
of them, most of us, we are stuck in some of the other things. So that's super. Anything that you would like to share with women who are thinking to launch their brands or start something of their new, but they're just procrastinating? What would that be? That advice that you want to give them to
I
get
would
up?
advise them to join the Diamond membership ASAP. I think that's the first thing they need to do.
Mm,
And I think they need to stop thinking about the result and think about the actions that they need to take. Once we start focusing on our actions, the result will fall in place. So I
absolutely.
think that's very important.
Yeah.
That's something that I've really learned from this community. So some still there are times when I get into that mode because it doesn't just vanish.
Mm,
But then every time I go to my group and I will see what people have written, what they've achieved, or I'll go to Mighty Networks and I will read their, achievements, and then I'm like, no, no, I can also do it. They can do it, I can also do it. So,
yeah.
I just go back to that, or I'll watch the other videos of people. So today I'm like really happy that I had seen videos of people earlier, and in my head I have to also be there. I have to be part of Fame Club. That was also now a goal. And
Mm.
I'm happy that I'm here. Like in 7 months, I did 6 lakhs. I think it's good for me.
Absolutely. In 7 months, 6 lakhs is amazing. And I think all of us, we women, we have our own pace, right? Yeah,
Yes,
at the end, it's a goal that in a year we should do this much, or in 6 months we
absolutely.
should do this much, because without goal, Bhagwan ka prasad.
Yeah,
I don't believe in that.
exactly,
But
exactly.
I think it's also, we should not get harsh on ourselves and just acknowledge that we have a family, a child to be taken care of, or whatever. Everybody's situation is different. So in that, so commendable. In 7 months, you have done the 6 lakhs. I'm looking forward to that first 1 crore. To
Yes, I have planned that too. After the boot
yeah,
camp, I
yeah.
have put that plan in place.
Yes, absolutely. Because for the kind of products that you do, Ruchika, that 1 crore can be achieved very, very easily. I think
Correct.
more marketing is what you will
I'm
focus on.
working on that. I'm again seeing your paid marketing videos and the paid ads
Yeah,
videos, so that I'm going through because I did it for a month.
mm,
I didn't get great results because I think I didn't do it properly. So
mm.
I'm still now going back, learning, and I will implement it very soon now.
Yeah, and do attend the live workshop that we have on paid ads.
Absolutely. I've attended earlier also and I'll attend it again. I will
Yeah,
surely.
attend it again. Super. Amazing. Great conversations, Ruchika. Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank
journey,
you.
inspiring us, and I'm wishing you and your brand great, great, great success. Looking forward to that first 1 crore very soon. Let's do that.
Absolutely. It's all going to be credit to you. I'm so thankful to God for getting you in my life. I mean, you've changed a lot of things in me. Nobody's been able to do it, but you are a lifesaver. I must say that. I mean, anyone talks to me and I'm like, huh, I have a mentor and I've also messaged you personally a lot of times when I'm low. And it's beautiful that you're able to respond to, I mean, I'm sure many people will be messaging. I wouldn't be the only one. So that connect that I have with you, I really value that. And I'm really grateful to you for giving that kind of time to each and every member of your community. I'm sure you're doing it for everyone. Thank you so much, Arvi. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love
Thank you so
you.
much, Ruchika. I think we always get the right people who say something when we are ready to change.
I
So my
know. Yeah.
mentors,
I know.
yeah, they always say we are just messengers. Like my mentors are also just messengers. I just had to hear something from somewhere. Of course, all gratitude to them. But I think the self decision and intention to change and believe in ourselves changes a lot of things. It's how beautiful once you experience it. So thank you so much for being an
Thank
action
you.
taker and not procrastinate. I think procrastinator Ruchika is long far gone now.
Yeah, yeah, now go.
Super, amazing. Thank you so much, Ruchika, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. Take
Yeah,
care.
thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.